success rate in the guise of being a great person, like a Martin Luther King, which they're not. The next story is about Ilhan Omar, who's the new Muslim congresswoman who's been elected to, I believe, Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm almost positive. And, you know, she's fresh into office. She just got there, I guess, a week or two ago, maybe a week max. And she's already trying to overturn a 181-year tradition that has never been overturned for any reason. We've had a lot of Jewish congressmen and Jewish politicians who would probably want to wear the yarmulke or kippah or whatever. I have no idea, I'm not Jewish, but you guys have religious headwear. And a lot of people have, you know, followed the rules and just done what everyone else has done for 181 years. But of course, you know, she's a woman, she's a progressive, say no more. If you're a woman and you're a far left progressive, you're probably trying to push an agenda of sexism in the name of stopping sexism. You're probably extremely racist, but you say that you're not racist because you're far left progressive and you can't be racist, even though everything they do is not based on content of character or truth or evidence. It's all based on like 3 Bernie Sanders talking points, which don't add up to reality. And the idea that racism will somehow cure the world of racism being more racist. It's like the opposite of what Martin Luther King said, which he said, you can't drive out darkness with darkness, you need light. You can't drive out love. You can't create love with hate. You need love to do that, but they don't believe in Martin Luther King. They think that being hateful and racist will somehow cure hatefulness and racism. I truly don't understand, but I'm also going to do a whole education video later this week. I have a lot of evidence that the education system's going to, you know, caca, which is Spanish for poop, for anyone not following. But literally, these guys did a peer review. I don't want to get too far off topic, but these guys, they wanted the gold standard peer review from academia on like ridiculous topics, and they actually got Mein Kampf, which is Hitler's like, you know, little scribblings or whatever. They got Mein Kampf passed. All they had to do was change the word Jews to white man, and instead of Adolf Hitler and Nazis, they said, we're doing this from a feminist perspective, and the gold standard peer review said, oh wow, this is really great, you're totally on point. So just to tell you who the feminists and the far left are, they literally would allow Mein Kampf and quotes from that if you mask it in feminism. They're literally pushing the same, you know, National Socialist agenda, just I hate white people and men are the enemy and America's the enemy and everyone else is good. It's the same stuff. I mean, I wish it wasn't, but they literally got that passed and peer reviewed. So that's how trustworthy academia is. On that note, I just want to say I respect all religions. I don't care what religion you are. In fact, I have a friend, his name's Waqas Khan. Very, very smart Muslim man. I would much rather him be congressman than her be congresswoman, and not because he's a guy, just because he has like common sense pro-America issues where he cares about content of character and he loves and appreciates this country. But, you know, this woman, I don't know. I mean, I guess as far as the headwear, I don't really care per se, but it just sets a bad precedent that one person, you know, is more important than 181-year history. I get it's the religion. I don't know what her true agenda is. I know she tweeted about the headdress and she said, this isn't the first thing I'm going to overturn. I'm going to overturn other bans. So it's not a good look for the Muslim religion. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to racism, sexism, and xenophobia, the way that you can cure that is by being a good person. It's literally, you know, the evidence is all there. Daryl Davis, a black jazz player, has a whole documentary on Netflix. He got KKK members to stop being racist and drop out of the KKK. These are the most racist people in America in the most racist time. He got them to not be racist. He did so with love and being so cool and likable that they realized they weren't racist because they liked him better than they liked white people. You know, Muslim and woman and all these like whatever terminologies. The way you can cure sexism and racism and xenophobia is by being cool. If you're a cool Muslim or you're a cool woman or you're a cool black person, it makes people so much not racist. You're like, oh my goodness, that's who I want. I'm not racist. I just want the content of character. I don't hate anyone because of their religion or their race. It's because of their ideology and, you know, how they act. So the people who are curing racism and xenophobia the most are cool Muslims, cool black people, cool Latinos, cool Asians, like just cool people, cool white people. You know, a lot of people hate white people because of bad white people. So being a good white person makes you not hate white people. Very simple. Omar is not doing the Muslims any service because she's super radical far left. She wants to overturn a 181-year ban, which is obviously going to tick off conservatives and constitutionalists and basically anybody who loves this country, who cares about basic things that, values and stuff that we don't want to compromise. But also she says, we're going to overturn the travel ban. She basically hinted to overturning the travel ban. Why is this very alarming? Not just because she's Muslim, but in general. It's because the UK, Germany, Italy, Sweden are statistically, even Reuters and Newsweek, far left organizations. Reuters is like mid-level left, pretending to be central, and Newsweek, I don't know who they're pretending to be, but they're far left. They've even admitted that migrant and refugee, intake into Europe has raised violent crime. It's just a fact. You have acid attacks and female genital mutilation in England. This is not coming from English people. It's just not. It's coming from the influx of Islamic people. Does it mean all Islamic people are doing that? Of course not. I would never say that. I defend Islam more than most people in my position, and conservatives or Republicans get mad at me. But it's because I know that all Muslims are not bad people. Most are good people. If 2 billion people in the world were all extremists, you would know like that. It's like 1/4 of the world is Muslim. So you would know if they were as bad as you think they are. They're not. Muslims, they don't all follow it word by word. They don't all follow it how you think they do. Most are peaceful and loving, but a large portion of them are not, and a bigger portion than a lot of liberals want to acknowledge. So they took in a bunch of people from Syria and other places, Somalia, Libya, and some of them were radical extremists. And, if you took in 10% or 20% who are affiliated with ISIS, you're going to feel it. And Europe has felt it. So the travel ban has nothing to do with race, religion, or gender. Maybe a little bit to do with religion at the extreme version of it. But it's there to protect United States citizens. And it's statistically and factually proven that it would. I know that the liberal argument is, oh, well, white people commit more crimes than a lot of refugees. Then let's work on white people here. Let's fix our own problems. We got homelessness, bad education. Let's fix all that before we intake other problems that we don't have. Because imagine if we have bad white people committing crimes, and then you add in female genital mutilation, where extremists are literally mutilating women's genitals. And there's lots of cases in England, and none of them have been charged. So they're not handling this problem properly. They're not handling the new influx that has raised their violent crime rate in Reuters. It's not Breitbart and Fox reporting it. It's literally left-leaning organizations. It's just not a great idea. So it's like, she's coming in, she's Muslim, that's great, but now she's like, I want you to change the laws. I want to change the travel ban. It's like, okay, like this is not going to make Muslims in America more popular. It's going to make them less popular, and it's not helping your brothers and sisters and the people I know that don't act that ridiculous. But overall, I'm not that concerned about her headdress. I think it's a little bit ridiculous that she needs to change it for herself, and it's kind of just a precedent because when Islam started becoming more prevalent in European government, it's not bad if they're doing the right thing. It is bad if they're doing a bunch of the wrong things, and a lot of the rates that you don't, like a lot of celebrities are leaving London and leaving Europe to come to the United States because London is not quite as safe as it used to be. I'm not saying it's terrible, but they're having problems with knife crime. Even gun crime is on the rise. They don't have guns, but they can't stop violent crime. It's because it's not the inanimate object that solves crime. It's the mental health and the ideology of your citizens. And if you import people, and a large portion of them bring their ideology, which is extremely way more radical than what you're used to, and they don't want to follow the rules, just like people here. That's what conservatives say, regardless of your politics. Conservatives say just follow the rules, follow the Constitution, be a law-abiding citizen, and that's they act like that's so radical. That's normal liberalism. That's what Barack Obama and Chuck Schumer were saying 4 years ago, before they went off the rocker to try to oppose Trump. So it's like just following the rule is somehow now a radical far-right thought process, and when you're far left, they're going to hide this agenda behind religion. And I think it's a cowardly thing, just like it is bringing in the far left agenda. I don't think I think you should be able to say it and do what you want and have your reasoning, but if you hide it behind being a woman, if you hide it behind being Muslim, if you use that as like a victim shield to stop people from opposing it, it's very, very cowardly, and it's what they're going to do here. It's what they've done in Europe, and it's not good anytime political correctness is involved. You can't fight their ideology because they put a woman or a child in front of you and say, if you don't agree with this, you want these people to get hurt. It's not true at all. It's not great. I don't think that it's come to this country in that form, and it's not going to do any justice for, you know, religious peace whatsoever. So I hope we figure that out, and stay tuned for the last element, because I'm going to explain how to really help that out. But that's my thoughts about Ilhan Omar. Not a fan of hers. Has nothing to do with religion or gender or anything. I don't like her ideology, and it's definitely making its way here. The next story is about Chipotle. I did a whole